This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today is September 27th. My name is Xavier.
Logan.
Jesse.
And Jacob's back. It's your boy.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you for coming back.
Jacob's going to be our guest today, and today we're going to be talking about a book we just read. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
It's spectacular, to say the least.
It's a pretty good
Pretty
book.
darn good book.
Work of art, truly.
I mean, when you read it, it's kind of like the same, self-help type thing, but I like the way he puts it and how, he doesn't act like he's some god.
Mm-hmm.
That's just been like, oh, yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. It's more like, yeah, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try to deal with it.
I liked it. It was self-help just from like a new perspective. It was pretty lit.
You
It's
want to
good.
get a little closer?
Oh, yeah, my
He
bad.
makes it reductive without kind of reducing what you get out of it.
Yeah.
Concentrates it is nice.
Mhm.
Low-key, that was most elegant words I've heard in like 2 months. Nice.
I thought the book was quite comparable to No More Mr. Nice Guy, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys have read that.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess the overall with it is, basically you're fucked, so figure your shit out and get it right. And
Care about the right
do what you
things.
want, yeah. So I thought that was quite nice.
Basically, stop caring about,
Trivial things?
yeah,
Is that
trivial
what it is?
things.
Mhm.
Trivia,
know.
which is little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
No, that's correct.
care about things that are important.
Yeah.
Prioritize. The other shit can go eat a big old booty.
Mhm.
It's a solid way to put it. I don't know.
Be honest.
How
Yeah,
do
don't
you deal
lie.
with not giving a fuck, Jacob?
Me?
Because I know you do have the lack of fucks.
Oh, I've been learning. I'm just about to. I'm going from Jedi to Master real quick here. I don't know. It's been a lot of things like negativity. Like I've had this for a while where I'm very selective about the news I watch just because you just get choked on how much it's like you need to feel sad about this event and this event and this event and all that there is on the news is trigger issues, button issues, you know what I mean? So it's like only negativity. So I'm like, okay, I can give a fuck about what's relevant, but never before in life have people had all of the information at their fingertips like we do now. So they've never had that where they're like, okay, am I supposed to integrate all of this? Because if I care about every world issue, I can't care about any of them.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Do you think if we got rid of all the social media and all this stuff, you think all the problems would just disappear?
I don't think they disappeared. They would
These
definitely lessen.
problems
Yeah.
Might, but you
Yeah.
just get other ones.
Yeah, you get other
you're
issues,
trading.
but I think it would be probably more, what would you say, personalized.
Yeah, but you're just trading one issue for another.
Yeah.
Well, he says that in the book too. Whenever you solve a problem, it's a new one crops
Mhm.
up. It's a never-ending quest of problems.
Yeah, it's like choose what problems you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how would that come up with more issues?
Social media, you wouldn't know what was going on.
Mhm.
I know we
yeah,
get an
so
inundation
then you would
of
just
too
centralize to everyone's each country.
Yeah.
Like we'd focus on America. Afghanistan would focus on that, even though it's a complete shithole.
Well, yeah, which isn't bad, but I'm saying you wouldn't know what's going on. Like in China with their concentration camps, it's kind of important. You wouldn't want to
Yeah.
head over there if you were a Muslim and then get
Just-
snatched up and
yeah.
put in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Are you talking
That's
about
true.
all social media in general? Like the whole internet goes down, or just like Facebook and all the news ports?
Yeah, like Facebook, Instagram, all the news for sure. Pretty
Yeah.
much just social media in general, because
Well, it would
Be-
create the problem of having to socialize
Yeah.
not on your phone.
There would be a lot of problems.
which
say that's a
how would that be a
problem.
problem? Because at this point, we all just walk around with a phone in our hands,
Hmm.
and none of us know how to socialize.
It would be a better problem.
I think it would be a better problem for sure.
It'd be a
But I
problem
think
still,
the
but it'd be a
pros
better
outweigh
problem.
the cons.
For
on
internet,
that.
like having infinite knowledge and things like that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I get what
I
you're
mean-
saying, but I do think, like the book really touches down on that, where it's like okay, I think the reason it's a book of its times is because it's like everyone wants you to give a shit about every movement that's ever came out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with all the fat models being like, if you don't think I'm beautiful, it's because you are sexist.
Yeah.
There's certain things where it's like, okay, I can only care to a certain degree, because if I'm trying to put all of my emotional investment into everything, you don't have enough chips to go around, and then you're just drained. So then you don't have the energy to deal with the things that are actually important in your day-to-day life that you can actually change.
Yeah. Even when it comes to relationships and stuff, having it all over social media and having access to, like, porn, for example, that ruins, like, all the social
just
aspect.
think it would be harder to get. Porn would not go away.
You just have to draw it longhand.
You'd have to go to the library and find some books or something. It would happen.
It
I mean,
100% would.
I think it's kind of a cool time because everybody before had to practice self-discipline because they didn't have these things. Now that we have everything that are at our fingertips, it can teach us like how to actually be self-disciplined. Because when you can have everything,
that discipline was built in.
yeah, because nobody has self-discipline because they've just got whatever the fuck they want whenever they want it. Now we actually have to learn how to have it. Before it was just like part of their lives where they just grew up with self-discipline because, you didn't get to eat.
Do it or starve, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Our forefathers definitely got dick down. We're living a lot better than our forefathers. However, we have inherited different challenges, and that's with the social media aspect. I think that's one of the reasons that you have books per se like this is whenever there's a problem, something comes up to counter it, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the medicines of our time for the overinvestment in whatever movements, 1,000 different movements at one time. You can't.
Yeah.
Life has too much knowledge to dedicate yourself to everything. Like in the book, it was saying, like, to be accelerant at one thing, to excel at one thing, I mean, you have to sacrifice excelling in other things because you can't excel in everything at once because you have a time management problem and a fucks given management problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another good point in the book is you're not special.
Yeah, I liked that.
That needs to be heard.
Yep.
You're not destined for great things. You could be, but you're not destined.
Yeah.
Like, the opportunity is there, but it's all up to you, and not like you're guaranteed this. You shouldn't be entitled to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world doesn't stop revolving.
Yeah.
It doesn't revolve around you, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Thing that I get tripped up though is like he was saying just like, okay, stop giving a fuck about like everything else and just only focus on what you give a fuck about, like actually. But it's like, okay, what do I actually give a fuck about?
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
to
what
kind
do
of
I
threw
wanna
you into
do?
prioritizations because that's what he was talking about too. He's like, you have to decide what's actually worth your energy, right?
Yeah.
Because like, and for most people, it doesn't end up being a movement or something like that. And I'm not saying that movements are a negative thing. They're necessary for political change or whatever change it's trying to induce. However, a lot of the times when people really come down to the nuts and bolts of it and are like, all right, what's most important to me? Most people's answer is family, my relationships, how I conduct myself with myself, things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was actually going to say this too. I think this would be a fun topic to get into. If there's other things you guys want to get to first, I'm down for it because it's going to be a long conversation. But what would Disappointment Panda say to each of you?
Ooh, I like that.
A lot.
Oh, hella. I was thinking about this too. If you guys ask me this
Be a
question
whole
back,
ass
we're going to be here for a
conversation
minute.
and not a couple
Yeah.
words.
Well then this is another one too. I was going to say first I was going to ask what do you think Disappointment Panda would say?
Disappointment Panda is a superhero that the guy in the book
Oh, yeah.
came up with
Thank
that
you,
would tell
Jesse.
you hard truths.
Yeah, hard truths. Like the reason that you're sad is because you're not prioritizing shit and you're letting yourself get walked all over or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say another question after that would be that he makes an analogy to like VHS problems
Yeah.
like so his parents didn't know how to use technology, but he learned being in the newer age and they looked at him like a tech wizard when really it's not that hard, but because you're looking at it from an inside perspective, you can't see it. So like his analogy was pretty much saying you have problems in your life, but you can't see them because you have tunnel vision, but it's easy for the people around you to see them and what they are and how you could possibly fix them. So I was going to say we should first do what do you think that Disappointment Panda would say to you, and then we could each go around just harping on the other person about what their VHS problems are.
I'll be down.
Probably say that I judge people too much.
Yeah.
I'd have to say.
Well, wait. We'll come back to this because it's gonna be probably an end cap conversation. But yeah.
Well, why?
I
Let's
don't
get
know.
into it.
We could.
Let's have it now.
Well, we could just go into the.
I
nuts
mean,
of
it's
it.
about the book, so
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
rip
here
it.
for
Not a whole lot left in the book anyways.
yeah, just don't give a fuck.
Uh-huh.
Care about what you want.
Yeah, fuck
Choose
this
your
book,
fucks
huh?
wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May the fucks be with you.
Revenge of the fuck.
Yeah, with the whole judgment thing, you judge people based off what you don't have enough of in your own life or what's wrong with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the things that you hate in other people most, like if you really hate someone fervently for one of their things, like one of their qualities, it's because it's reflective of you. And
Yeah.
you can't hate anything more than you hate the things that you know are in yourself, I think.
Yep, that's exactly correct.
It gets a little dirt nasty.
It is. It's quite vicious, but
Hold up. I don't think it's in
good to
me
understand.
to smash a wine glass.
Jess, I think it definitely is. I know exactly what
I'd
you're
have
relating
to
to.
be so fucking smashed.
Yeah,
well, it's absolutely
yeah.
embarrassing.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
If you start to
yeah.
act up on drugs or alcohol or anything like that,
All I'm saying that's not
chill
in
the
me.
fuck out.
If you
It would take
can't
a
if you
while.
can't handle it, if you can't knock it, don't knock it. But
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're talking about.
We'll
a
tell you
specific-
after.
Yeah, but
It's like
this
We're
okay,
calling
referring
out
to
people.
somebody that
Yeah,
threw a
I'm-
wine glass on the ground.
Imagine the situation.
was drunk.
I'll just pull out the situation for you.
Yeah.
So, some people get when they're drunk, they get more belligerent, right?
Mhm.
Some people, like, it's a known thing that people will get. They're Jaeger Hulks essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like when Jesse's saying he doesn't think he hates that quality in other people, where when they drink they get aggressive, right?
Yeah.
And he says he doesn't think that's in him. But I think what it's more getting to the core of, Jess, is like when you see that anger in someone, it's not that you would do that to that degree, but you despise the little bit of anger that's in you that's irrational.
God, that's fair.
Yeah. And you feel like and you see it in them and you're like, I know that I have the capability to go off the handle in a certain way, and I hate that I have that weird piece of me. So you look at him and you're like, you're my demon, shut up.
It's just, how do you get to the point of where you're just doing it for a show.
Maybe,
That's all it is.
Maybe, but I would also say if you repress things enough, so like me and you've talked about this a lot, Logan.
I know exactly who you're referring to
Yeah,
because he's a piece of shit.
No. That's not
yeah,
what I'm
he
saying.
is.
Okay, there's things that he's got to work through, just like there's things I've got to work through. His are a lot less glamorous work throughs than mine might be right now. But like one of the things is, we were talking about this, me and you. If you want something to manifest itself, repress it as much as possible. Like when people are thinking, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. The primary thing in your mind is sickness. You're focused on that entirely. It lowers your immune system and it lowers your consciousness enough that you're susceptible to those things.
Mhm.
So when you're like, you've got all these issues, right, and you're repressing them, they're constantly what's on your mind. So once your guard gets lowered, alcohol, any sort of drug, lowers your guard enough that all of those things that you've been trying to keep caged and are things that are constantly on your mind come to the forefront of your mind because you're always thinking about them anyway. So I think that's how it manifests. But
Yeah.
It's just like depression, which is no joke to talk about, but
it's a joke.
Like
but
once-
it's a tough one.
Everything's a joke.
Yes, everything's a joke.
okay, yes, but for the viewers,
All right.
be happy.
Oh,
Because it's better that
simply
way.
just be happy.
Anyways, let me get to my point.
All right, go.
Like if you're depressed, and there's certain people that we know,
Me.
they sit in the self wallow,
Mhm.
and it'll go deeper and deeper and deeper because they try to repress it
Mhm.
so fucking hard, to where now you see them, even their like posture in their body is always like
Slumped.
crippling,
Yeah.
and they're just so negative and they're draining.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you said, you repress that shit, it'll come out harder than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let it go, or talk to someone about it, or just figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. I'm on this
Yeah,
train.
Well, everyone
but how
needs
do
to
we?
bitch every once in a while.
Yeah, I feel like
That
there's a
helps
point
so
of
much.
complaining and then, actually getting shit out. There's a way.
Well,
there's a
complaining-
huge difference.
Complaining helps.
Complaining helps
When
because
you're frustrated, complaining helps.
Yeah, but
I
as
think
long as you're not
complaining-
that person that fucking complains all the time about everything.
Well,
No.
there's obviously there's a fine line, right? Because complaining helps to frame a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because you're upset about a situation, you bitch about it enough till you know why you're upset about that situation, then you have a game plan on how to fix it. If you keep bitching past that point, then it's unnecessary. And people know this because it's undesirable when someone's bitching enough all of the time. Then other people subconsciously see that cue and they're like, I don't like that. And
Well,
they're like,
it-
why you bitching all the time? Blah blah blah.
It's
You know?
It's
comfortable.
just when people won't fix it or listen to you, and they're complaining to you, and you're like, "Hey, there's an obvious like fix to this problem," and then they ask you what your advice is, and then you tell them, and then they don't fucking do it, and then they just come back and complain.
That
again.
sounds
It's
like
I
a-
think
that sounds
that's
a
what you
lot
call an asshole.
and ask for it.
That was
Yes.
cute.
It's also just it's comfortable to go back into that place.
But also, I think we're pulling back to the point. This is a VHS problem, right? This is one of
You're
the
just not
problems
in
where
it.
it's a tunnel vision problem.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yes, hindsight's 2020. When you're in a situation, it's a lot harder to see the framework of it. Also,
Yeah.
I think personally, you can't teach or tell anyone a damn thing. You
No.
legitimately can't. You can tell them you can tell someone something. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink.
Yep.
And that's not something that only refers to other people. Like, I can think about a million times in my past when I was depressed as fuck that people were like, look, this is how you get out of it, da-da-da-da. And all that was going through my mind, like, you don't understand. My life's so edgy and tough. And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have to figure it out yourself, because you can't pull someone out of depression. They have to decide themselves that they want out of it, because it's kind of like a seething wound. And it's kind of addictive. You feel comfortable in it, right? So you have to decide yourself that you want out of it. And I think that's the same thing with most problems in life. You have to decide that you don't give a fuck about the other things, and you give a fuck enough about this that you're going to pull yourself out of the hole.
I think this was people with on drugs. It's a good thing. They have to hit rock bottom. They
Yeah.
have to care, or else they're just gonna get back into it.
Yeah.
I've seen it tons of times with the uncles.
Yeah.
Until something real bad happened, none of them cared.
Yeah.
You'd help them get off, and then they were there the next week.
Yeah. It kind of has to
It's-
be life or death. That has to shock them back into reality a little bit.
Yeah, it's a rough one. For sure.
Yeah, drugs.
And that's
are
an extreme
a bad
version,
deal.
but it's a good example.
We've
is.
been also beating around this, though. Jess, what would Disappointment Panda say to you? Or whatever the hell that panda's name is. Sad Panda. Get sad, Jess.
I don't know if you get like,
Like-
is it just like things you could do better?
Uncomfortable truth. Things that you've been avoiding. If you were to conceptualize this panda sitting across from you, which I am that panda now.
Jess,
what-
are you gay?
Yeah. It's okay if you are. We'll support you.
Actually.
I would lose it. That'd be hilarious. Anyways.
It's too good.
Probably could do to take criticism better. I don't take criticism very well. I get really pissed.
Especially when it comes to religion.
Okay.
Oh, we're
this
switching.
is a whole other thing.
I was gonna say, I didn't know we were switching over to the VHS conversation so quick. Actually, let's go around and do the
It's
panda
another
thing.
day.
Yeah, let's,
Another day.
Let's
Okay.
do the panda thing first, and then we'll come to the heated debate, because I want to do a little bit of self-reflection before we get a little nasty with it. What else, Jess? There's got to be something else something that jumps out to you.
I'm trying to think, because an uncomfortable truth is different than things that you could do better.
It's kind of both though. Like if an uncomfortable something you've been avoiding that you're like, I
Avoiding?
know. I
oh,
know
socially. I am not very socially competent. I don't talk to people. I don't do anything. I
That
like to
is
sit in
true.
the corner.
which is
That's where I'm comfortable.
which-
I've been doing it more. I've been hanging out with people
Mhm.
more, but I am very comfortable sitting on the couch by myself.
Which is funny to me, because it's not like you're inept. You're probably more socially competent than me. I just fumble around like a big Doberman until people are like, this kid's so fucked that I feel bad enough I give a shit.
Just-
But
I like to sit in the corner.
yeah. Well,
Which is gonna be perfect if you get this girlfriend. You guys will match perfect.
It's a comfort zone kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could do to get out of my comfort zone a bit. That's fair.
What about you?
About me? Let's go around the circle first, because I think I might be a little bit longer on the mic. Go
Oh,
ahead,
yeah.
say.
I think Disappointment Panda would tell me things aren't gonna get done if you don't do them.
That is
I'm here for that.
such a fair criticism of me, especially with fucking anything to do with the Infinity Summit group, like social media wise.
Oh, social media is a
I
fucking joke.
literally downloaded the app on my phone so I would use it more, and I don't open it. I look at it every day and say, nah.
Yeah.
What else, Dave? Pull out some other shit. Get real personal with it. Get gritty.
You can't save this relationship. It's over. Just let it go.
Stop throwing shade across the table at me. Anyways, keep going.
You're pathetic.
Well, let's not go so deep. It's gotta be at least somewhat. It's gotta be at least somewhat
That's a
usable.
David Goggins mirror talk, screaming at yourself.
It's gotta, It's gotta be usable, Zabe.
That is
You're not
usable.
as cool as you think you are.
All right. What, bumping your ego down a few notches then is what Panda would say to you? Is that what you're
Yield,
getting
you're
at?
not special talk.
Yeah,
I think everybody could use that a bit.
maybe. I've been trying to figure out what the ego is, though. Somebody's like, you have a big ego. I was like, I never even thought I did, but maybe I do.
I feel like they're projecting, but also
I also think
Ego-
that.
What the hell
ego
is
is-
e-
Ego.
You're-
Yeah,
what are they
exactly. What is
referring
it?
to?
How
your-
can I
your
stop
ego, it? So you can't.
look up the
One, you
definition.
can't. I'll give you a roundabout version of it, but for me, from what I understand about it, the ego is what you conceptualize yourself as. You identify with your name, the things that you do, the persona that you put on, that people believe that you are, is your ego to some degree. Logan, hit me
It
with
says
the facts.
a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance.
Yeah.
So you think you're important?
Is that like you think you're above people or what?
It's kind of.
I
like-
don't get that
from
from
what
you
I
at all.
From what I understood, it was like an self-identity thing. Like you're to what degree. But that makes. I guess
That's a
adequate.
philosophical debate that
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
we don't have enough time for.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
This book is a little philosophical though,
Yeah, if
about not trying to
if
be.
we
the
had
f-
9 hours to talk
Oh yeah. Oh
about
no,
it.
for sure. But just not trying to be the fucking guru. Just be you, and that's probably good enough.
Ooh, you is not good enough.
No, it's not
you
good.
can always be better.
Okay, Jess.
Yeah.
Not that. All right. You got me on a lingual trip.
Well, hold up.
Not you are good enough. Like, but you're not. You're probably, like you were saying, you're nobody. You're probably not going to be the next LeBron James.
Yeah.
So work on you as much as you can in
That's fair.
the field that you've got.
Yeah.
So a good quote from the book that I would like to share. It says, "You'll never be happy if you continue to search. If you continue to search for what happiness consists of, you will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life." That's
If you're looking
powerful.
for happiness, you won't find it.
Yeah.
Basically, just fucking do it. Just
Yeah.
fucking live.
Yeah.
Don't try to. Just
Don't-
do it.
Don't be a perfectionist. It's kind of a messy deal.
Yeah. I think that's another thing, too, is like, I don't know. It's like reaching too high. Because, like, you always want to, like, in the book, it's, I don't know. I'm trying to say this in a way that makes sense.
Reaching too high. It's hard one to go through because you get so many books that are like, whatever your goal, like the 10x rule, whatever your goal, 10 times it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like this is like kind of just mediocre it, which isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with being mediocre. That's what the most people are.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is it's like part of the reason that I think he said that is like, say if you have this huge goal. Peterson talks about this too. You have this huge goal, right? You try and eat your whole meal in a single bite. You're gonna choke, and then you just give the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
You do the 10 times rule, then you're fucked because you're like,
You burn
okay,
yourself out.
now I have to be Jesus Christ himself, and I don't even know how to
Exactly.
start doing that.
Exactly. I'm
So if
like,
you just
fucking
half-ass
Christ.
step one, then you'll be able to make it to step two
Well,
and get
anything
closer
worth
to
doing
whatever.
is worth doing crappy.
Yeah, I think that's good.
A weak plan is better than a
No
or
plan.
a weak plan with a definite no purpose is stronger than a strong plan with no purpose.
Yeah,
Some shit like that.
that was a good approximation. I don't even know what we was quoting from, but it was badass.
Outwitting the devil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Log, Panda's dicking down on you. What does he say?
Yeah, just the judging one, and
Judging how? Because that's kind of broad.
just what I see in other people is just a reflection of me.
Mhm.
So I got to fix that for sure, and the ability to forgive, I'd say. Yeah, because I do hold on to grudges, but
That's fair.
it is what it is. What about yours? Your little shit panda.
All right. Let's see. Where would I start? So, Panda would probably tell me that I need to have a fucking identity, probably. Maybe need to try that on for size. Be more, I don't know, speak for me more than I do. Like,
Pick
I'll
a
let-
lane.
Yeah, pick a lane. I'll let myself get walked all the fuck over. Shit like that. So, probably have a spine. Try that.
Aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah, something like that. Not be so afraid to have people leave my life.
I could teach you.
I'm aware we might need to trade some things.
Absolutely.
What else? Yeah, pick a lane was actually a really good one. Pick a lane in like all sorts of things because I'm kind of scattershot. I'm like, oh, I have an interest in this. I'm gonna go into this for a week fully deep nuts, and then I'm gonna just forget I ever looked at that and go on to the next thing. Dope. And so then I never have I never focus on one thing, so my fucks are scattered. Yeah. Yeah.
You care too much.
Yeah, I'm in a fuck deficit. Like the bank won't even give me a loan for fucks. That's how bad off I am. So yeah.
Okay.
It depends. It's for different things though. Like I don't know. Yeah, like it's more of a prioritization thing for me because there's some things where I'm like, oh, I couldn't give less fucks. I just really don't care. Like people's negativity towards me, I'm like, yeah, that actually doesn't matter to me. My personal negativity towards myself, the things that I put on myself, I give just probably at least a dragon's horde of fucks on. So yeah,
Even when it comes to other people, you care too much.
likely. We're gonna switch over to the VHS one now. Dab me up. What am I not seeing, Logan? Get sussy with it, because we're here for it right now. This is the conversation for you to just let a whole fucking heap and can of sewage out on me that you've been holding on to.
No problem.
No problem.
I could do that for you. Yeah, pretty much you just care way too much about not what people think about you, but once you're not even in a relationship, even just a friendship, it's like, I'm all in with you, and you, and you, and 10,000 other people, to where you don't even have time to care for yourself. And that's why you don't have an identity. Because your identity is made up from everybody else.
You absolutely dunked the fuck
Thank
on
you.
me. That was very good.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Xavier, criticize me. Get nasty with it. This is a roast fest. You're coming up next.
Just from what I've seen, and I haven't spent like too much time with you.
Yeah.
But I would say it would be do things to start progressing your life that actually, amount to something. And, it's good to find yourself, but at a point you got to start, growing up.
Enacting that.
Yeah, enacting it instead of just, the philosophical finding your inner peace and shit. It's good for a minute, but it's all talk, no show. But I, again, haven't spent that much time around you, so I can't say that's the truth. So
We're simply going to ruin lives tonight.
I love it. Peace, love, and Bobby Sherman, baby. Jesse?
Trying to think.
No, Jess, I know you can absolutely devastate me. Say that one thing you were just about to skirt around. What was it? There was something nasty you were about to say. I could feel it.
Well, okay. So you can pick up on other people's vibes really well, but you'll hang out with people that, to me, normally those are the people you'd pick up on a vibe, but that's not who you want to be around. And then you stay around them for a long time. And maybe from when you're hanging out with people, it's harder, but on the outside, you look at who sometimes you hang out with, and you're like, damn, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. No, I know
mean, it
exactly
happens
what
with
you're
everyone,
saying. Yeah, but for me specifically, I know exactly
Well,
what
yeah,
you're
it's
talking
'cause you
about.
guys-
You've been with me since day one. Every relationship that's been shitty that you watched me roll around like pig in mud, you're like, before it even starts, you're like, Jake, Jake, don't do it, Jake.
you guys got a way good intuition for people, and it always just throws me off.
Yeah.
'Cause you guys, and then you'll take and you'll care, like Logan said, you care too much. And I mean, it's a good thing to care and all, but you take it to a point where it's too much, or it's maybe overbearing just a little bit.
Well, it's hard to watch because you're
Well,
getting
yeah.
treated like a literal shit, second, third, and fourth. You're not 1st. So why would you do that to yourself?
But
Because none of us like to see it.
yeah, I don't know. It's a hard balance. It's got to be. 'Cause sometimes things end up working out.
Yeah.
But
You don't need to soften the blow, though. I really appreciate the
well,
criticism.
I'm not
because
trying
you
to
guys are
soften
my
the blow.
closest
I'm just
people.
saying because it's clearly everyone wants the best, and
Yeah.
sometimes things just work out when they weren't before. But
Not
it's
often.
it's a balance of
Yeah.
finding who to care about, I guess.
Just learn to let go.
That's definitely Panda would shit on me with that for facts.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you this is an intervention, actually.
We want to talk about your drinking problem. You'd be in the same boat. All right, now it's Logan's turn.
Absolutely.
Save, get after him.
Please.
Tiger
Oh.
mom him up.
I think you have a quick temper and you don't give people the benefit of a doubt sometimes. You're just very quick to fuck them, fuck
Yeah.
you, fuck off. I'm like, all right, life's not always like that. You can't just fuck off your way
To
victory.
Neverland.
I mean, to a point, I do agree with you on a lot of those things because you've got to stand your ground for sure. But, yeah, that's what I would say.
Jess.
I think you could be quicker to forgive, and you mentioned it earlier. Because you do get a one time, and it's fuck you, and I never want to see you again. It's happened a lot. And then, I don't know, just one bad experience ruins your 7 or 8 good experiences you had with them. And that's a big thing.
Yeah, I was actually
That nails it on the head pretty good.
I'd say so.
I was gonna say the same thing, and don't let this gouge you too deep. You and my sister have the same proclivity, where it's like if you slight me once, you're more dead to me than a fucking cactus. Don't look at me.
Absolutely.
You disgust me. That probably the forgiveness thing, but also I think you give too much fucks in the negative light. Like when someone does a nasty to you, it's not just like, oh, you did bad, you're out of my life and mine. You'll say sometimes, you're like, I don't even give a fuck, I don't care. They're out of my life, doesn't even bother me. And then I can see over there, seething, you're all these fucking cunts in their fucking life. And these
Praying against people.
Yeah.
I have done that.
So you do donate hella fucks, but it's just in the aftermath that you'll sit there and be like, hate, double hate.
Absolutely.
Junk mail.
It's under the
Eviction
counter
notice.
fucks.
Yeah.
Non-consensual fucks.
That and this is more of a personal look at your life where I'm just like, you have the empathic ability, in my opinion, to a very high degree, but you just like let it eat bricks. you don't a lot of times like it's a tool, I think, being perceptive like that, and sometimes you don't utilize it, but mostly when your anger finds you.
Yeah, I use it for the wrong reasons, 100%. But I've used it in good ways, too.
Yeah, definite facts.
Like, I could point out a rapist in the room real quick.
Not in this room. God, we're all on the same level. Not in this room.
Not in this room, but very quickly I could point you out who's good or who's not good.
All right. Hit up Zabe. You start.
I think you're depressed. Imbecile. That doesn't know what the fuck you want with your life.
Accurate.
And use alcohol to cover everything up.
Yeah. It's facts.
Rah.
Lash.
But I love you.
I'm lonely, okay?
I'm lonely too. It's fucked up.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't hang out with you very much, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than what I've seen here, and what I've seen here is constant improvement. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
But there's
Yeah.
things. There's got to just figure out one criticism to hit him with.
Wait, are we going strictly
Find
negative
something.
or can we do positive too?
We can do positive, but this what I was thinking was more
This
just
is
like the
disappointment
VHS
panda?
stuff.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
well, this is
disappointment
the
panda.
VHS things, like things that you think that they're kind of tunnel visioned on, and you can see from the outer perspective. It's easy for you to see, but when you're going through it, it's not. So like, with Jesse telling me that I've been out here being hella nasty on my vibe train, it's something that I can't see because it's too close. Yeah.
I think it all started with your family.
Wait, what?
All of your issues started with your family.
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
that's for sure.
Your dad.
Yeah,
Nice.
heavily.
Which we could get
Solid.
more into at sushi.
This is gonna be an incredible.
Maybe I need it. I haven't had a beat down in a long time.
Not a beatdown. This is we're making the framework for our issues so we can look at them objectively and actually approach them without them sneaking up on us. It's like Jordan Peterson says. I'll get back around to it. Jordan Peterson says that people look at the Holocaust and think if I was back in that time that I would be the people saving all of the Jews, but likelihood is that you would be
A Nazi.
a Nazi. You'd be an Auschwitz camp guard because you think you're constantly the good guy. And if you always think you're the good guy and never the bad guy, it's because you're the bad guy.
See, that's the problem is I always think I'm the bad guy. I
Yeah.
never think I'm the good guy.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same problem just from a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because
Says it
there's
in the book,
Yeah.
right? You're either always good or you're always down. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Jess, you still have to pop off.
I don't know. Listen, as much I see Zave once a week.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when it comes to my turn to do his, I'm not gonna be
Uh-huh.
able to say much.
Yeah.
I see him here, and most of the time it's all good while we're here. It's everyone showing how much they're growing,
Yeah.
and everyone has.
Mm.
I don't know.
That's good, but this isn't like a dig party. This is like something I think that you might not be seeing. That.
But you can't comment on someone's
Well,
life
no,
if
that's
you don't
that's
know them.
you don't know them very well, but I mean, there's still things like even with how much you guys have been together, talking about improvement and stuff. There's been deep conversations enough that I'm sure there's some things, but if not, that can come to mind right now. We're still chilling.
Nothing that can come to mind at the moment.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, your turn, Jacob.
All right. I think that you constantly forgive other people for their misdeeds, but every single one of your own, you beat the fuck up out of yourself. So then you don't make any improvement on it, because when you're constantly focusing on how bad you are, I'm bad, that I'm bad, that I'm bad, then there's no steps made to fix that for yourself.
Oh, I overthink the shit out of everything.
Mm. But not only that, like, you're easy to forgive outwardly, but not inwardly. And there's this quote from a Zen monk that says, the capacity to love is the capacity to be alone. So maybe you feel that your love is not full when you're giving it to other people because you're not content in yourself, because you think you're this monster that you've made yourself up to be. So maybe try forgiving yourself a little bit.
I can't do that. That's too hard.
Maybe try forgetting a thing or two. Step 1, maybe.
No. I don't need to forget anything. Forgiveness, maybe, but
Oh, no, it's forgive but never forget. Come on.
yeah.
Oh, all right, fair. Well, I was just thinking if you can't do one thing, any step forward would be progression. Any who's its and what's its. This has been the Rape Fest. I'm not your host, Jacob. Moving on to the next fuck segment.
Well, while we're here, I'd
Yes.
say like I idolize people a little too much too.
Yeah.
Like certain people, I think they're above me, so I get discouraged.
You know what's funny?
You
I've talked
compare
about this
Mm-hmm.
with my brother about you.
Yeah.
Really?
The exact
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
Idolizing people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like I don't try because I'm like, fuck it, you know.
Mhm.
I don't like them, but when I really get around people, I'm like, damn, you're doing so much better than I am. Fuck.
Yeah, but also
I
I
hate
think
myself.
I also think that's a thing with resolution. Like some people, like you think about it, everyone is so resolution in your mind that's not you, because you're kind of a full-fledged creature to you. Like you can see every in and out of you, right? But you can't see that for other people. Like the more you come around someone, the more full resolution they become. But at the very beginning, they're just a name and a face. Like you don't know shit about them.
Yeah.
So then you can idolize someone for their good qualities, but they might still be they might still have those really negative qualities where like there's things that they've done in their past and now everyone thinks they're Jesus, things like that, you know.
Yeah, do people change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they?
I
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
feel
Yeah, they
like
do.
they have the capacity to. That doesn't mean they always do, though.
Yeah, but at what point is it just a fake face that you're really good at? Or did you change?
Well, see,
People change.
That's
Because
see,
like Seth and
I mean, you can-
going from drugs to not drugs,
Okay,
that's a
no.
huge change.
Hold up.
That is a change.
Okay, yes, for drugs, but let's just throw it out there. A molester. Do people change from that?
that this kind of becomes a question of identity and forgiveness, right? Because what you're getting into is what is at the core of your identity. Like, are you? At what point does your striving to be better become you've become better, and is there still the slope back to be able to slide back to what you were? And I think that's always an inevitable thing for everyone, or not inevitable, but it's always a problem for everyone, because there's always that potentiality of you sliding back to what you were, right? I'm not making the excuses for people that have done atrocious things, right? And it's a question whether or not it's forgivable in a society where people need to behave a certain way for them to be productive for the group. But as a broad scale forgiveness, that is a question that I think is personalized to everyone, because you're going to have to figure out to what degree someone is something and to what degree their mistakes make them. Because in the human experience, everyone's going to make these mistakes, right? It's inevitable. To learn, you have to make a mistake.
Right.
And then it just comes down to each person's judgments, whether or not a mistake is forgivable or whether or not you can come back from a certain thing. Personally,
Mistakes
yeah.
like that is forgive but never forget.
Mm.
Yeah.
Kind of forgiven but don't come around me.
Yeah, but also the full forgiveness, I think, personally, like, you see this in, like, the Buddha story and the Christ story. Like, there was this story where some guy came up to the Buddha and he was absolutely pissed off, and he spit on the Buddha's face, and then he dipped out, and all of the Buddha's followers were ready to knife him up against a tree, and the Buddha was like, no. And he came back the next day, and he's like, I'm so sorry for doing that or whatever, and he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I think a full forgiveness is after the slate is wiped clean, there's nothing there. It's kind of like with something on your record. If your record's wiped clean, there's nothing on your record.
Then it's gone. I mean, that's not completely true, but
But you
according
get
to,
what
like,
you get what
I get
the
what you're
metaphor
saying, yeah,
is, right?
Yeah.
Like a full forgiveness is forgetting, because if you always have that at the back of your mind, I think it's just the human impediment.
Or letting it go and not like putting
Mhm.
any more emotion, because you can't forgive
Energy
somebody
into
and
it.
then have more energy. Like,
But-
yeah, I forgive you, but I still fucking hate you. That
Yeah.
you can't do that.
No, I don't think it's actual
You can forgive
forgiveness.
the action but not the person at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a question, because you start splitting hairs and getting into semantics when you talk about whether people change, because, like, even within yourself, you think about it, it's like me yesterday or a week or a year from from today is so much different, but I still have in me what made me who I was then, right? But you've built upon that and you've changed. Doesn't mean that you can't slide back into what you were, because you were there before. It's a track that's already been tread, so you know the path back, right? But does that make you that thing? Because are you your mistakes? That's really what the question is. Are you your mistakes? Because in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, yes. But are you redeemed in the overcoming of those mistakes?
It's person to person.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a very splitting hairs and kind of a deeper question, because do people change? I don't know. It's like
Person to person, scenario to scenario.
Mhm.
What hills you're willing to die on, everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. But if you were just asking a question, do people change? Yes.
I think in general, yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
I don't know. If I just look at my life and then I'm like, yeah, people change. Because I don't think the same way that I did 2 years ago. Not even close. I don't even do the same things that I did 2 years ago.
Sure.
At all. I'm a completely different person.
Right.
Well, the constant is change, right? Like
Yeah.
you cannot be in the stream and not be moved by it. However, I think what was at the root of your question is, can people change for the better? Like someone that's done something reprehensible, are they redeemable? Can they come back around and be, completely without the demon that brought them to whatever decision they made?
Mm.
But yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we're tying this into the fucks given.
Well, it's Jesse's
Yeah.
turn.
Yep, it is my dude. Let's hear it.
Oh, Jesse, you're getting fucking ripped on, brother. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Biggest thing I would say, and the only thing that I could even say, because I don't know you that much, but is to commit.
That's fair.
Commit to shit.
Commit to shit.
Commit to taking that dump, Jess. Logan?
Well, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's not just like obvious for me this time, so you have to give me at least
Thank you.
2 minutes.
Means a lot to me that my sins are out to fucking ship.
You guys talk
All
about
right.
your shit more than I do.
That's fair.
Maybe that's the thing, too. Maybe you should open up more.
That's definitely a thing, because even when
be
you've
is.
been going through the most gruesome parts of your life, I try and talk to you. You're like, I mean, we still connect, and I'll still give you the hug and love, but it's just like, you're like, yep. Mm-hmm. I think your dad has that too. You're like, oh yeah, this is happening, but it ain't no big deal. I'll just cut it out as cancer 3 years later.
That's fair.
Look,
I don't
you're
even know.
you're
what to
drawing
say.
a blank. Shut the hell up. No,
Just
I
gotta
got
do
you.
Something.
You could probably stop recriminating yourself so much for having normal impulses and human emotions. Like, I think you overvalue women.
Think so? I think I overvalue trust
Overvalue trust.
to an extent.
Oh,
I think if anything, like betrayal or any kind of betrayal of trust would be my worst fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no contest. But
that's
I
why
think
you don't tell people things.
maybe, probably, but it's not something to like think of on a daily, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe in that case with women, it would be that would be your ultimate life partner,
Yeah.
and that's probably
That's the ultimate. That would be the ultimate betrayal of trust
Yeah.
if they betrayed you.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
probably
I think you could also show your. You could be. You can let yourself be more human. Like, this isn't necessarily like a good thing, but like when me and Logan are joking around about, I don't know, say, "Damn, that girl's hot," something, something, something. I mean, you'll sometimes chime in, but it's usually like, nose up. Nah, I'm respectable as fuck, boy. Maybe let yourself be a little more slummy, Jess.
it's just not my jam. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
need to
fair.
keep it to myself or in private.
Yeah, but
Like, it's way different doing it outside than here.
yeah, that's fair. But also like,
Well,
I
we're
think-
not catcalling, by the way.
No,
we're
no,
just
no,
like,
no.
wow, that girl's pretty.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I don't know. Everyone jokes around. I couldn't give a fuck if people judged me for it. But anyway, so I'd also say Jess for you is like you could let yourself like I think a lot of the reason that you don't talk is because you don't want to say things that will make you vulnerable enough for someone to betray you. Maybe it's
That's fair.
maybe it's not a lot that way. Maybe it's more subconscious, but something like that.
Fair enough.
Like you can speak imperfectly.
Yeah.
I think you're shitty at communication.
Hey, that was one of my things.
It's like
I don't-
it.
I don't communicate well at all. No.
No. you
Although it's
don't.
better than it was.
That's
Way better.
true. You have been
Facts.
talking more.
Mm-hmm.
Caught me a year and a half ago and I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. That's true.
Also,
Yeah, I definitely could use some love.
I love this conversation. Oh my
Soon,
god.
Jess, soon.
That's fantastic. All right.
I could love you.
No, I said it could use some love. But
Oh,
I'll
no,
still
I
take
totally,
it.
I
but-
totally heard.
I heard I could use some
Yeah, that's what I heard, too. I could use some love. I'm like,
I think you 100%
Fuck it, yep.
Freudian.
Same.
Both are accurate, but that's not
Yeah,
what I said.
I was gonna say 100% think you Freudian slipped on yourself and just fucking. I'm down pretty bad.
Okay, no, I said what I said,
I know.
but
That was awesome. All right, where are we going from here? We get into the, did we hit the points? What was our?
I feel pretty
Yeah.
good about it. What do you guys?
yeah, I feel pretty good actually. We're at
I thought that
about
was fun. We
47
definitely
minutes.
uncovered some shit that
Shit.
we're gonna have to learn how to bury during dinner.
The thing is, I already knew all this shit. I just don't know
Yeah.
how to change it.
Do we have that conversation? We could probably do that.
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah, it's probably for a different time.
Anyways, this was
Awesome.
absolutely a blast, boys. I love this.
Thank you, Jacob, for joining us.
Yeah, pick up the
Thanks
book.
for having me.
Yeah, read the book. Don't forget to not give a fuck about shit that's just unnecessary or irrelevant.
Mhm.
We are selling coins still. Those are $12. It comes with a note, a stamped
Letter?
Yeah, we gotta have a
stamped
party
letter.
where we just put them all in the envelopes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that.
I would
For
definitely
sure.
suggest investing a fuck in that because it's kind of a unit of a little coin.
That'd
It's,
be
we
it's
are.
badass.
And then Noah is still in California with flight school. He should be back next Monday. And other than that, thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you another time.
all right, peace out.
Bye.